thought all men get circumcised at birth. Shit, it look like some of y'all got chemical burn.
The horrific mentality of this woman gives insight into how circumcision even occurs in the first place. So she thinks it's totally fine to not only say that, yeah, duh, men should get circumcised, but then goes and makes fun of the men whose genitals have been mutilated even worse than circumcision. So not only were they circumcised, the horrific butcher of a doctor, don't let me get into how evil this is, he messed it up in some capacity. It wasn't as clean of a procedure, and there's a very high percentage of male babies that actually lose their genitals as a result of circumcision. So it's really the people that own these hospitals that are continuing to pressure and force mothers into circumcising their boys. And if this was happening to females and it was young girls getting mutilated, oh well, that's a whole different.
One of the rare occasions where I agree with Frank on something.
I'm gonna make my face asymmetrical day 102.
There's two things that need to be done to actually make this a valid experiment. One is an x-ray before. If there's no x-ray before and after, we can't see permanent hard tissue changes. That's the priority. Whether the hard tissue changes or not is the most significant and important thing. And if we can't see that, it's a BS experiment. Now, if there's no way to know, you can't assume that there's hard tissue changes. So what happens 2 or 3 months after stopping? Does it stay the same? Is it permanent? Or does it revert back to what it was before? So if we don't have x-rays, the most important thing that this guy does is stops what he's doing and waits like 1 or 2 months and sees if it stays asymmetrical.
I mean, that's, again, that wasn't stupid.
Imagine if you guys put all this creativity and energy into helping me instead of this nonsense. And we'll get back to this image, but I have a lawsuit filed against Always Forwarding, all the companies involved, the guy Weber Solomon, the CEO of Always Forwarding. I even sued U.S. Customs for negligence, so I'm doing my part as much as I can to get reimbursed for these jerk-offs who shouldn't even be in business. And you guys have to help me warn other people about this company, because God knows how many other small businesses they've taken advantage of that don't have a voice. And it's easy when, you know, you're a $1 million, multi-million-dollar corporate company and you're able to screw over every single small business without repercussions because you just pay off Google. But if people know and their bottom line suffers, I mean, there's even a lawsuit about these guys not paying their employees, but I've made videos on that before. We'll have to get back to that. Yeah, who knows where the Wagyu is now, but this is a pretty good Photoshop job. Frankie's in collaboration with Always Forwarding fermented Wagyu. What does that say? Patented? Oh, did he spell patented wrong? Shipping
Attended.
container fermentation method. It's called wet aging. It's called wet aging, buddy. This is very funny. This is probably maybe.
Knowing Frank, he probably filed the lawsuit wrong or is going to do something stupid, and it's just not going to go anywhere.
One of the best Photoshop jobs or the best memes we went was like going to be over $1 million. And
apparently what Frank has been doing is suing people, refusing to pay for court fees, and then claiming he shouldn't have to pay court fees because he earns zero money. So, and then the lawsuits keep getting dismissed because of that. So, yeah.
a lot of
Frank is very likely actually retarded.
People might have fear of missing out during the holidays, especially since Halloween, you know, everyone going out and partying and having fun, the club, whatever it is. But anytime I think about the FOMO, the fear of missing out, I reference my Amish buddies
So he's admitting he has no friends.
who in some cases don't leave the farm their whole lives. And yeah, you could think of people like in prison or some less fortunate places that don't get to celebrate at all. But since I do a lot of business with the Amish, I think of them. They don't celebrate New Year's. And in regards to like enjoying life experiences, some of them literally don't leave their small community. They don't leave their family farm their entire lives. And they're perfectly happy and content. And if anything, they're more successful and joyous than most people that get
The Amish are absolutely miserable. They're some of the most miserable people I've ever seen.
to experience those things. So if you ever feel like you're missing out on a party. What's up, guys? Been taking care of the ladies. It's not too much work. I mean, in the winter, it's a little more difficult because the water does freeze and you have to like run the hose out and stuff. But I'm gonna give you guys a look around. So we got the fries. Oh no. Oh, what a pain in the ass. Oh.
Well, a lion would, of course, eat the food off the ground. Or a dog.
What a pain in the ass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take two. Gallagher's. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take two. Gallagher's gets a second chance at their French fries. Still not good. Oh well. But let's try the burger. Today has been a catastrophe. Really has been, Rio. Starting with that Nathan's review, that was horrible. Those two places were horrible. Then we come to Gallagher's. We dropped the burger. Then I locked my keys in my car, and I had to pay some Israeli guy $150 to unlock the keys out of my car. And here we are. So hopefully the rest of our day ends up better. This is a huge burger. You know, just regular cheddar cheese. The meat looks pretty good. Bun very thin. Very rare. Meat's cooked just how I like it. This reminds me of Peter Luger's, except the bun's a bit smaller and the meat is more.
I would never get a tattoo because I go tanning a lot, and you can't really tan if you have a lot of tattoos.
She does look very pretty with a full face of makeup and her evil snake tattoo.
You know what the snake tattoo means, right? The snake tattoo means that she will strangle you and poison you.
I think I've said this before, but please stay away from anyone that has a snake tattoo on their arm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
And it looks like a teddy bear. It literally looks like a teddy bear. I can't unsee it now that somebody mentioned it, but his tattoo looks like a fucking teddy bear. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Looks pretty good.
That is like so awful and so dumb looking. What a fucking idiot, dude. Dude, the tattoos he's been getting have gotten worse and worse too. They're so awful. I have no idea what the fuck he was thinking. Just absolutely retarded.